you can only like, you can't. I was trying to just put it on my thing, but it seems like you have to.
Oh, quiet. Good. Hi, welcome to No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. We are live, Facebook. Oh my gosh, hi guys. Janelle, oh my gosh, can you believe it? We're doing this live right now.
We are doing this live.
Well, why not? Everybody else seems to be doing this live, right? So why not us?
That's
yeah.
Right. And we are pleased to say that this is focusing on a season of No Ordinary Men, right?
Yes, it's a time for us to be celebrating our prince, our kings out there. So we thought, why not? Because there's so much emphasis on our women. So why not focus on our men? I mean, after all, without a man, we can't have us. So, you know, so let's emphasize and let's focus on our men, right? Yeah. So, yeah, so, you know, girl, listen, I'm loving that dress. You are looking mighty
Thank you, my darling. So are you. And can I just say that we recognize these designs?
Yes.
Mamau Fashion, right?
Yes, Mamau Fashion, Chantel, big up yourself, girl. And Love Yaya by Nana Belt. And anybody that really wants to just showcase their clothing, feel free to just get in contact with myself, JNL, and I, info@nowchatshow.co.uk. We will happily wear your garments.
We promise we will wear them well.
Look how we wear it. Come on now.
So, Kaz, how was your summer?
Well, you know what? My summer was pretty awesome. I mean, I kind of like extended it, you know, because I'm extending it onto October. I'm believing that it's just going to be sunny, like 28. It's just going to switch because I don't understand why my heat went on yesterday. And now I'm just like invested up. I just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? So anyhow, so yeah, my summer was really good. It was really cool. Carnival? Oh, yeah, you wasn't here.
No,
listen,
no.
Carnival, right? So on Sunday, you know it was raining. You know how we do in England, yeah? We still go to Carnival.
Go in the rain?
Well, I was working for El Cuisine, big up El Cuisine, and we were supporting Caribbean Twist, the Float Caribbean Twist as well. So we were supporting them and we were selling food and everything else. And I just couldn't believe the amount of people that was out there in the rain with the umbrellas and everything else. I was like, damn, these people for real. And they were up there cooking up themselves and all of them things there. Yeah, partying hard, you get me, in the rain. It didn't matter. If you could have been thunderstorm, lightning, they would have been out there same way doing their thing. And then obviously the Monday was just, it was good. It was all good. That was my time.
Yeah, you enjoyed it. Well, as you know, I just got back from Jamaica on Monday. It's been full on since.
Right.
And yeah, whirlwind since I've been back. It was fantastic out there, as you know. So yeah, back. And now it seems like a distant memory, sadly.
Oh no, this is how it goes.
It's been a lovely day today, so.
Yes, and I'm loving that tan, girl, man.
Thank you. Hopefully it lasts.
Well, you know what? You're gonna have to go on another holiday then, right?
You know, the things we have to do, eh?
Yes. So do tell us about our guests. Let the viewers know who we've got in the studio live right now.
Well, I am really excited. I have met our guest once before, and let me just tell you, I was absolutely blown away. I had the pleasure of briefly interviewing him before, and blown away by his story, by his presence, by his, you know, just inspirational energy that I felt from him. So I'm really excited that we have him on the show today. Give you a bit of background. He, like a lot of our young people, you know, at a young age, he suffered from the negative impacts of the environment around him and had faced many challenges, you know, could have gone down the wrong path, was starting to head down that way, but totally turned his life around and decided, instead of going down that path, which many succumb to, that he was going to take up boxing, which is one of the toughest sports out there, right? You know, so decided to follow a pathway of boxing, focused, disciplined, everything, and started an amateur career, then went into professional boxing. Sadly, an injury kind of put a halt to his career, but he was very successful during his time. I think 19 wins and 15 knockouts and yeah, all sorts. So, you know, from there, going through that, really focusing, discipline, you know, training hard, he faced an almighty tragedy.
Yes, because he had a tragedy with his 15-year-old son, and who was very talented, a footballer on the books with Queen's Park Rangers, and was stabbed in the heart outside his school.
That's right,
trying to peaceably, Kiyan Prince. And obviously, due to this tragedy, this then led to an opening which inspired the Kiyan Prince Foundation. And, you know, it's just amazing what Dr. Mark Prince is doing. So without further ado, I think it's about time we just let our guests know who is there. Welcome, Dr. Mark Prince. Thank you for coming on the show, sir.
Thank you. It was just awesome looking at them beautiful dresses.
You like?
And the creator and designer of them needs to get a big shout out because they are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chantel,
big up yourself, girlfriend.
Mama Fashion's in the house.
Yeah, for sure, always. So how are you today?
You know, I'm very well. I was very busy. Very busy today, just staying focused on a campaign I'm putting together, and I'm just listening to you guys making the announcements and thinking about my journey with my son while you're doing that, and all the time it's just so surreal. Even just listening to my son and what happened to him. Yeah, it always has a big impact and just hits you. And it's almost like, you're still in that place, did it really happen? Is this real kind of feeling that you get when you're listening to people talking about it? So it's something you're never gonna sort of be able to get used to and deal with. But to be here today on the chat show with you guys is massive. That's a real powerful step. You know, every time I do something positive, and I'm able to be in a position like this where I'm able to talk to people about the journey, it's such a far cry from where I was.
So do you want to talk about where you was?
Yeah, because, you know, I guess for anybody to lose their child is tragedy in itself. But to lose your child at the hands of another.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even begin to contemplate what that must feel like, what that must put you through. But the reason why and we've had this conversation, Kaz, the reason why I'm so inspired and in awe of you is because most people will take that and become bitter and angry and want to seek revenge and, you know, really kind of absorb all of those negative feelings and that's what they live out. You didn't do that.
Well, like most people, I am exactly the same, and I struggled with that. And like, as a fighter in the ring, you have an opponent, and maybe people don't realize in life we're always faced with opponents. Correct. We're all fighters in a way, and we have to be able to understand, how am I going to come against this opponent and win this battle? And every day we face a battle. Some people is getting out of bed. You know, some people is just developing good habits. So this one was an almighty challenge, and my opponent was trying to crush any ounce of hope that was inside of me. And my struggle was to hold on to hope that there was something good coming out of something so traumatic, and that's really tough to do. And I struggled with revenge, and I struggled with unforgiveness, because you start thinking about what other people are going to think as well if you forgive this guy. So it's not just you start other people's thoughts, other people's their opinion matters. And until I actually began to deal with that, and I actually focus on what mattered to me and how I was going to deal with my grief, then I wasn't really dealing with it. All I was dealing with was the pain, and plus the ego. You killed my son. People know you killed my son. They're watching me. You know, what am I going to do about this? They know I can take care of business. I'm a fighter. So I've got to show them that, and I've got to show my son I ain't letting no one do this and they get away with it. You know, so all of that you're dealing with as well. So the best way that I thought to tackle all of this anger in me and all of this revenge to make them feel like how I feel was to exact the same actions that he placed upon me. But I had another side to me, and it was a side that was connected to my creator who made me and made me for a purpose. Yeah. So that side was always whispering in my ear. And I grew up understanding characters in the Bible like Job, who'd lost all of his children in one go and was a very wealthy man and was very respected in his community. And his words was, the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. After he found out from one of his servants that all of his children had been killed. He'd lost all of his riches. He'd lost everything. He was nothing. When he finished his trials, he might as well just been a bum on the corner on the streets. And I didn't go through anything as terrible as Job, but what I went through was as terrible as Job, because I felt like how this guy must have felt when he lost everything, because my children was everything to me. Mm-hmm. They are everything to me. So to take one of my crew out, when as a young boy, when I first found out that I was going to be a dad, that's the one thing that pushed me to be able to make it in boxing. That's the one thing that kept me going, because I wanted to make something of myself so I could not just tell my children how to be, I could show them how to be. I could be the example, I could be the blueprint for my own children. So that was what kept me going for my journey. So to take one of my children now, and you was the fire, so to speak, the petrol that kept me going in life, that was too devastating. So now I feel that I've got to do something, and now God's voice is telling me to trust me. You said that you're going to follow me. You said you're going to trust me. You even taught your son about me. You taught your son about forgiveness and love. So was that just a lie? Was that only if things are going well? Was that only if you wasn't pushed to the limit? So I had to answer these questions for myself. And after beginning to answer these questions, I felt like I was a broken man, because all I'd done every day was think about killing. And that was draining me. So I made a decision to throw everything at my Creator's feet and just say to him, listen, I don't know what's going on. I can't deal with this. There's only one way I know how to deal with this. But inside I knew that wasn't dealing with it. Yeah. So I said, you take over. I'm done. But when I was going through this process, it was a broken process. My spirit was finished. There was tears on the floor that you could see from all the crying I was doing. And I felt right there at that moment. That's why when people say there isn't no God, and okay, that's cool. You can believe that. But I have evidence in my life that when I've spoken to God and God's heard me, that he's evidenced the difference. I didn't take this feeling off me that I felt. At the moment when I prayed and cried out to God, I can't take this. You take this away. You deal with this, and I'll follow what you ask me to do. When I said those words, a weight felt like it was lifted off my back. I didn't even know I was weighed down like this. I knew what I'm dealing with, but I didn't. It was literally like someone had some weighted tables on me or something. And I just felt light. I felt like I could breathe. It's like I exhaled. And then my tears just slowed down. And then I was like, I knew something happened there. And the evidence of it became apparent when I went back to the new court case, because we had 3 court cases to get this guy done. And when I went back on the next time to go court, I'd felt completely different. Initially, I was so angry every day. I'd go in there just like, I just wanted some excuse to hurt the dad, the mom, anyone in the family, look at me wrong, say something to me, the son, and all day I'm like this. But now I came in and I was like this. I was at peace. Yeah. There was a peace that came over me that passes understanding. And for those that don't know anything about their Creator, he promises you that. He promises to give you peace that passes understanding. And I actually experienced that at that time, because it made no sense to me. How come I was feeling like this? What did I do? That's why when people talk about you're strong and that, I can't tell you what, if I could bottle it and sell it and be able to buy a premises and do what I was doing. I would do it to help my situation, but I can't, because I have to give the praise to who the praise belongs to, and that's my Creator, because He stepped in. And that's why I'm so passionate about my journey and doing what I'm doing now, because I realized I was plucked out of the mess. I was literally plucked out of the mess. I could have just, drank and smoked and just stayed in my pain and my grief and my anger. And I've met other parents and we hug and they say, I want some of what you got. And I said, I'll pray for you. Believe that you can have it, because that's all I've done. I just believed that I wanted to be able for God to help me. So I asked Him for this and I received it.
But it wasn't just, that's powerful, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't just about turning your feelings of anger and revenge and aggression and hatred around into forgiveness and love. And as you say, you asked your Creator.
Yeah.
You knew that that's where you needed to turn to, and you asked your Creator for that peace that past the understanding that you have now, and that emanates from you right now. But you didn't stop there. It wasn't just about you saying, I'm broken, heal me. Yeah. You went beyond that, right, Cass? Yeah,
because then you've got the Kiyan Prince Foundation.
That's right.
So you're helping others as well. So tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, well, if you remember, I did ask God, show me the direction you want me to go in. What's my part? I felt like there must be a part in this. It can't just happen. My son can't just be dead. And then that's it. There can't be a full stop to this. There's got to be more. So because I left myself open, I said, whatever direction I see you taking me, I'll go. So I started getting calls to do talks at schools and talks to young people at primary schools, and parents were coming down, and then I just thought, let me go with this, because I didn't ask to do this. So this must be beyond me. This might be a part of what I prayed for. So as they came, I said, yeah, I'll do it. But the only problem was, I'm absolutely terrified of speaking and standing in front of people, dry mouth, sweat, all of that. So I knew that, I'm in trouble here. But because my son had been killed, that changed my life. It was almost like I could face any fear. And whatever I was going through, I'm still going to deal with it, because I got to deal with going to the cemetery now. And there ain't no fear worse than that. Hence why I done the jumping out of a plane to raise money, because one of my greatest fears is heights.
Right.
So to put me up in an aeroplane, how many thousands of feet up in the air and jump out and do the parachute jump, the skydive, whatever, that was absolutely terrifying for me. You would wet yourself looking at
I wet myself looking at people doing
things
like that.
If you saw me, you'd be laughing so hard. You could see how terrified I was.
How did it feel though when you did that? And when you
man, the adrenaline, it was amazing. I was screaming my son's name up in the air, thousands of feet up in the air. It was almost like I felt close to God. I felt like, yes.
There's something about being up there.
Yeah,
It's just like
powerful.
this energy.
It's
just
it was amazing.
So amazing.
I ain't done it since, but
oh, you're not going to go and do it again? Once is enough.
I would experience it again.
Okay, then.
Because you can only get used to something. You know what I'm saying? So I began to face these fears. And as I was facing the fear of going out, remember, also, I didn't add this. I made a deal with God. I made a deal with my Creator. I said, look, I don't know about this speaking stuff, and I don't know how to prepare what to speak. So to know that you're doing it through me, I'm going to go to the front without preparing anything. And I'm just going to speak from here. And then I'll know that this is what you're doing through me. And I said, and you can develop me as a speaker if this is the route that we're going to be going. So all of these private conversations that I'm having with this invisible God, that we can't see with our eyes, but we can see in an action, I began to visually see it materialize as I saw the evidence of my speaking, the impact it had on parents and children, and the feedback I was getting. I was like, I felt like that was rubbish, but they felt like that was amazing, and it impacted on them. And then I see young people being emotional, and I was like, wow, like this is what it's doing with these young people. So you know, I began to see that God is working and something is being done.
And what's beautiful, what you just said there, Mark, was that it came from the heart, because you was literally God's vessel. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's why the people could receive from you, because it's through your brokenness, from your tragedy, what you went through. That's why they could relate to you. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we could all make a fancy little speech and everything else, but ultimately it's the heart, and that's what God is about. It's all about what's inside there. It's all about the love. Do you understand?
Totally.
But one thing I would like to ask you is this, in regards to, you know, like you said, you had the court case going over the period of time, but yes, you had the peace, but how would you actually advise a parent who's lost a child to gun or knife crime? And, you know, like you said, you could have turned to drinking, etc. And obviously that could have taken your life as well, just doing that. But what would you say to a parent to give them some kind of hope?
Nice, good question. I would say to them, when you get to see your child again, what would the story be like that you'd be able to say to them? Would you love to say to your child, hey, that guy that killed you, I went back and murdered him, you know, and then I got like 20 years, and then the rest of the family was distraught because then they missed out on me, your brothers and sisters missed out on me, but I've done all this for you. Or would you prefer to say, I kept loving, I didn't let it break me, I didn't turn to drink, I didn't turn and let anger and bitterness screw me up. The same love that I showed you and brought you up and how I wanted you to turn out, I continued living that life for you.
That's powerful.
So your legacy lived on through me.
That's powerful.
Very much.
And that's very selfless.
Yeah.
And I would ask a parent to think about that.
And we spoke about hope. I mean, before we came on set, we spoke about hope, and actually that's the key, as well as peace, but also the hope. Just talk about what that word actually really means to you, and explain that for those people out there, because hope is a word, and yeah, we talk about we can have hope, but I want you to communicate, just like you did to us, about that word and how it kept you going.
You know, we've all got stories that we tell and we've lived through. So it's strange for me not using my own. But this story that I read today impacted me so much that I have to mention this lady. She was 18. She got captured at 14, kidnapped, and was held hostage and raped every day for a year. And the people asked her, how did you get through this? And she said, hope. I never let go of hope. I always held on to it. If you let go of hope, then it would have been all over. And because of that, I was able to have my chance to escape. And one important thing she said, I said, wow. When I read this, she said, I prayed. But whenever I prayed, I never said amen. Because amen to her meant that was the end of the prayer, and she didn't want God to leave her. Jeez. So she never said amen. So she always had that hope that God would get her out of there.
Wow.
And I thought,
that's
wow,
amazing.
That's amazing. And it's sad because we live in a world that does not, if you want to talk about your creator, they want to disown you.
Yeah.
They don't want to, and I find that strange, because I think in a world where we need love,
come on now,
why would you run away from the one that created love?
Yes.
And why would you disrespect people who love love? Because God is love.
That's
so
right.
when you love love, if you don't like the word God, move it out the way then and say love. And demonstrate that love, because that's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to shove religion down people, because I'm not religious. I was made, this didn't come around by somebody having a bang and then I came around. So because of that, I want to demonstrate love in my life, and I haven't always had it. I haven't always understood love. So it was only through connecting with love itself that I began to understand how to love my children properly, my wife, and to have relationships with my parents and people, just people on the street in general that I meet, just actually have a genuine love and care for their life. And I think we need to promote more of this.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
Because we would have less violence,
Come on.
we would have less deceit, less adultery. We would have so much less of everything, just because the law that we're supposed to, all of us, live by is the law that we treat others as we'd like to be treated. No one would like to be hit. No one would like to be put down. No one would like to be taken their stuff. No one would be like to be ill-treated. Everyone has the right, regardless of whether it's to do with religion or anything else. This is our human right, that we have the right to think for ourselves. God made us as individuals. We have the right to think, make our own choice, to love, to be respected, to have the right to think. And it's almost like that's been taken away from us. So if you think like this, then we can't give you any opportunities, because we need you to fit in. I refuse to fit in. I will be me, and I will teach my children how to be themselves and how to think for themselves and ask questions. So we're growing up in a society with just robots and children that have been so traumatized by the killings, murders. And let's not get it twisted. Your brain can't work out whether, oh, this is just an act I'm watching. The brain is watching someone being stabbed. Hence why your body tenses up. Hence why you have emotions. You cry when you're feeling things, because your brain's not saying to you, yeah man, don't worry about that. You got no emotions to do with this, because it's not real. Your brain don't work like that. And what it is, the people that make these films know this. The people that are in charge don't understand this.
But this is how they're controlling us. This is how society is controlling us. But we are going to have to wrap up. As much as we do not want to wrap up.
I tell you, we ain't even begun.
No, we haven't.
We're going to have to get you back on
for part 2.
Because I ain't even talked about the campaign.
The campaign
in your book is powerful.
Can you tell us a bit about... In a few minutes, can you tell us a bit about the campaign, and can you tell us a bit about your book before we do wrap up?
Okay, you'd like me to do that now?
Media feeds as well.
Good, okay. The campaign, I've been sitting down at home, I've been so distressed and hurt about all these murders, and I think to myself, okay, the mayor, one of the police superintendents, or one of them said on TV that the mayor does not have a solution to what's going on. Everyone's distressed. Why don't we create a national campaign to get everybody on the same page? And I call this, because I'm a boxer and I see knife crime as an opponent, knock out knife crime, but do it with love. So because I've realized that there's a lack of self-esteem, self-identity, self-confidence, self-love in our young people, in our generation. So if you have that on the back of a society that's feeding them through music with all this negativity, through entertainment with negativity, through the internet and all this with negativity, as much as these new modern creations can be used in a positive way, a lot of it's not being used in a positive way. So we see the impact of that with our young people. And because your belief systems can be molded by music, people, films, all of that's happening, what we're seeing is the result of the generation being impacted by society. So what we now have to do, how do we combat that? We have to combat that with more love, to demonstrate in reality around your community. You might see this, you might hear it, but we, the people you meet and relate with, we love you. We realize the impact that these things are having, but we're going to give you an opportunity. We're going to show you examples of how people really relate, and we're not going to promote this when you meet with us in reality. We're not going to promote this mindset. We're going to teach you that this is the way that you should be living. It's a better way, it's a different way, it's a loving and respectful for all human beings. When I go into schools, the impact I have when I speak is profound. So let's have a call to action. I want to now use young people themselves to stand and have a call to action against knife crime. Why? If they don't, I want to wake them up to realize you might be me, you could well be me. Because the numbers are so high right now. If it's at 100 already for this year, what's it going to be like when it's your turn to be a daddy? And I want you to stand up against knife crime, because you don't want your children to be a part of and a victim of this. I want them to think ahead, because that's what young people don't really do very often, is think ahead.
But the system doesn't teach them to do that.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't teach them about the financial literacy. So they don't know how to deal with money, and that's why we become consumers, and we just want to spend, and we want brands, and we want this, instead of building wealth, building a community that has something. And this is what our young people are here for, to build the community they want. So they don't understand how they're just going along with this mindset that needs to be changed and corrected. And I feel that if people will support what I'm doing, instead of talking about, oh, well, I don't know about knife crime with love, and oh, no, I'm not sure, we can't be here to help you with this. Back it and see.
Yeah. So how would you like them to back it?
Listen, I want them to back it like this. Need professionals, standard. Because anything that you're building needs that national exposure. So we don't have a great platform on social media, but there's other great people that do. If you support what we're doing, then obviously KPF's going to have that backing. So the more people of high profile who want change, talk about it, but aren't really actioning something and doing something. I'm saying I'm going to be doing a national campaign called Knockout Knife Crime with Love. Come and join us, because I ain't doing it on my own. I'm just the vehicle that's saying, jump on this vehicle and come we go out there to the young people and let them make a change in knife crime. Let them stand up and make knife crime something that's really what it is, which is, you need help. You're not thinking right. You're actually showing and demonstrating that you've got some personal issues, because you're only a reflection. You only treat people as a reflection of how you feel inside. So if I'm quick to want to hurt you, how do I feel inside about me? The days when I was in pain is when I done the most damage in society. I was hurting the most. Now I'm loving the most. I'm doing the most good in society. So I want to help these young people to self-love, hence why it's called From Love, Knockout Knife Crime with Love, because I want you to start loving self. So when you see each other, you see your peers out there, you're not going to look at them as the enemy just because he's from E9 and he's from N this and all these different postcodes. That doesn't define you. What defines you is your heart, your character. Who are you, young people? And we want to be able to go out there. There's enough people that can go out there and inspire these young people.
But Dr. Prince, what I do want to add to that as well, as much as we're saying it's young people, we've also got to look at parents. We've also got to look at parents, because we've also,
without a shadow of a doubt,
because that's the foundation.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
If the parent don't have love for themselves, how could they then show love to
that's
their own
it.
child?
You can only share the intellect that you have.
And it's taking ownership, it's actually taking responsibility of that, rather than blaming it's the school, it's the government, it's etc. etc. You know, we can blame all day with itself. Absolutely.
Within the home.
Home's a massive area. That's what I'm saying. I ain't even really gone into stuff. But one of the reasons why I want to raise this money as well, because we can't just, that's just one phase, going out naturally to the young people. So once we get through to them, if we can create a premises where we can deliver the program to support the parents and the young people, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so we've got the message out there now, and now we're asking the people, support us, let's get this premises, because we ain't getting it from the government, we're not getting it from all these different areas. So you know what, why can't we do it? I've always said that. I've always said to people, if you signed on to KPF, I got a Facebook message I've done, 400,000 hits. So I said 20,000 shares. So I said, imagine if that was £2 each. Instead of pressing put £2. What could we do with it? You could watch exactly what we've done with that money that you put in. So true. Every individual put the end. This is about transparency. We want to show you, here's where your money's going to. Here's where it costs to develop and help this young child. Here's where it costs to be able to support this family with life coaching, with psychology sessions, all the things that you need, because it's from love that we do this. I want to extend what me and Tracy done bringing up Kiyan. I want to extend this to the community and saying, as a community, let corporates back it, let celebrities get a part of this. We want to show together that we are moving in the same direction. And organizations, they're all doing great work out there, but we're all disconnected. So if we can say, okay, well, let me link you up with these guys because they're doing this work, because we can't do everything. We'll have a package under the premises, but if we're all connected now, we can all work as family members. And everybody get designated to the right organization to get the needs met.
So for those who are watching out there, tell them how they can support the Kiyan Prince Foundation, KPF, how also they can help to get on board with this campaign, this national campaign, which I think is critical. And also tell them where they can get a copy of your book. I know we haven't had a chance to speak about your book, The Prince of Peace, The Fight No Father Can Prepare For. We will have you back on.
Definitely.
I think we need to.
I think so.
But tell them where they can pick up a copy of your book, because you know that is also the support that people need.
And also all your social media platforms as well. Must have that in.
So firstly, to get the book out of the way, Prince of Peace is, you can order it on Amazon, you can get it in WH Smith's, and you can get it in Waterstones. It's an awesome book for parents and young people. And I'm going to be building a workshop off of that and creating a program based off of Prince of Peace as well. That's for the future. The campaign, how people can help. I actually need individuals with certain skill sets. People in PR, excellent. Someone in marketing, definitely. Somebody who understands social media, and that's the work that they do. To build someone's social media platform, imperative. Because we're building a business, but it's the business of saving lives. And that's the business that I've recognized that I'm in, and I've recognized we need to be structured correctly. So if we've got people that can contact me and say, listen, we would like to give our services to this, then I will be over the moon. People that are just out there and think, okay, what can I do? We want you to fundraise, help us fundraise. We're gonna go and put letters through people's door. We want people to back KPF, this initiative, to help us travel the UK, help us travel around so we can get into these schools. You know, give us the resources that we need through the £2 each so we can get and do this, because we're committed. There are some great people that I'm hoping will join me. Some fighters that I'm hoping will join me. I don't want to say any names yet because I haven't confirmed them. But I'm so pleased if I can have professional fighters who can come on board, even if they've done one appearance a month. Because I know fighters are busy, they're fighting. But I want them to show that the community that we are. This is important to us.
So what are the social media handles and everything else that people can connect with you? Because I can guarantee you after watching this that
people want to connect to you.
Believe me.
Well, I'm hoping so. How do you mean? What?
So what's your social media platform? So on Instagram,
Twitter,
I get you. Your websites, etc.
So at the moment, because I don't have someone on board to set it up, and I'm just been absolutely rubbish with social media, you can go on to Mark #1 Prince on Instagram. You can go on to Mark Prince on Facebook. You can go on to KPF, the KPF on Facebook as well.
And also you've got a YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
Because I'm subscribing to your YouTube
yes,
channel.
Beautiful.
Subscribe to YouTube channel, Dr. Mark Prince.
See, all of that, we want to give young people opportunity to come on board and join and help as well, because we want to use young talent.
Definitely.
And obviously it won't always be like this where we don't have the money. As things change, we'll be able to help young people and support them financially and give them that platform to get into this. Because everyone says, why should I stop selling drugs? Why should I stop carrying a knife? Why should I stop doing this? Well, I'll say to them this. I'll say to them, because you're asking why should I, it's actually exposing what's really the issues that you're having. One, you're chasing money. You're chasing money. Chase the dream. Yes. Don't chase the money. You chase the money and you'll end up short, because what you'll find is that if I just carried on chasing the money I was after for my children and I was making it, what do I have to give to my children? Along my journey, what have I learned? So I'm robbing, I'm stealing, I'm shotting. What can I now impart upon you? What knowledge, what experience? Am I going to give you how I got away from this drugs deal and how I nearly got kidnapped and how I pulled a strap out on somebody else?
How I outran the police.
Your journey in life is about your great potential that's inside of you, and it's seeded in every child. And along that journey to find themselves, that's the experience that they acquire to now share with their children and with people, their peers. So they become role models and they become valued people in their community. And this is what the young people want to know. But society's made them think it's about chasing the money.
Yep.
It's about how you look outside instead of developing the inner, which will produce the outer.
The fruits, right?
Yes.
The fruits. You sow the seeds and those fruits will come. Well, listen. Here's the book, The Prince of Peace. Grab your copy. It is, not only is it a great read, but it's just has depth of inspiration, awesome, inspiring. So please, as Dr. Prince said, you can get it on Amazon, you can get it in W.H. Smith, you know, for the young, for parents, for anybody out there actually, just you know, you want to be inspired. If you've been watching today, and I'm sure you know, you will have felt the inspiration and the energy. So please go out, grab a copy of the book, support the Kiyan Prince Foundation.
Yes, support the vision.
Support the vision.
But we are really going to go now. So make sure you chase the dream, don't chase the money, as Dr. Mark Prince said.
Yeah, you get it.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. And make sure you share, because sharing is caring. Until next time, me, myself, Miss Casmac, Janelle, we'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.